Members, this is the appointed time. We have a quorum, so I call to order the meeting of the panel on transport. The Secretary for Transport and Logistics and her team will brief LegCo members on their policy portfolios that is relating to the Transport and Logistics Bureau. Members, if you want to ask questions, please press the button to indicate you wish to do so. And I will now invite Ms. Mabel Chan, Secretary for Transport and Logistics, to brief us on the paper submitted by the administration, and the Secretary will do so with the aid of a PowerPoint. Thank you, Chair, members. Together with my team, which includes the two commissioners, we will be briefing the panel on the relevant policy initiatives, and we're going to show a PowerPoint. The recommendations on the formulation of the 15th five-year plan by the central authorities refers to enhancing the collaboration between Hong Kong and mainland on trade, technology, as well as collaboration among the people, and there will be facilitation measures to promote development in both Hong Kong and the mainland. I'm going to speak on transport-related policy initiatives. Now, transport infrastructure is a vital engine driving social and economic development. According to the principles of infrastructure-led and capacity creating, the government is fully committed to promoting and implementing a series of railway and other projects in an orderly manner. Now, in relation to railway projects, they include the Tung Chung Line Extension, Oyster Bay Station, Tuen Mun South Extension, Kwu Tung Station, Hung Shui Kiu, and Northern Link. They'll be completed progressively from 2027 onwards, and we've also talked to the MTRCL, and the spur line of the NOL will be taken forward simultaneously in combination with the main line for early completion. As for the Hong Kong Shenzhen Western Rail Link Hung Shui Kiu Qianhai, we plan to invite tender in 2027 for the Hong Kong section. The Highways Department will set up a dedicated unit for the purpose of receiving submission plans and vetting the tenders. And we're also striving to introduce the smart and green mass transit system in East Kowloon, Kai Tak, and Hung Shui Kiu Ha-Chun NDAs with innovative thinking. We're going to adopt a new open tender and take a transit-oriented development approach to invite more investors and operators to join us. We're also going to introduce a new framework to shorten the lead time for introducing the new systems and for the government to capitalize on the opportunities arising from technological breakthroughs. We will also streamline building control procedures and establish a one-stop platform to expedite the review and approval processes. Now, for this system in Kai Tak, we started tendering in October last year. As for the other two projects in East Kowloon and Hung Shui Kiu Ha-Chun NDAs, we plan to start tendering within this year. We've also invited the MTRCL to conduct detailed planning and design of the South Island Line West project. I will now move on to road projects. Now, in terms of road infrastructure, we started a study in last year for the Northern Metropolis Highway. In March last year, we are currently conducting various assessments. We aim to tender the Santin section in 2027 for completion by 2036 or earlier. Investigation study for Route 7 has largely been completed. Construction of Ching Long Bridge is prioritized to be taken first for commissioning by 2033. As for Central Kowloon Bypass Yau Ma Tei section, it was commissioned in December 2025, linking directly East and West Kowloon. The journey time is substantially shortened by 5 minutes, up to just 5 minutes. And it also helps ease traffic. According to the latest observation, during the morning peak hours, the traffic flow along Long Chung Road substantially reduced by 15 to 20%. As for the Gascon Road flyover, during morning peak hours, there is no traffic tailback, and we are working full steam to promoting the rest of the Central Kowloon Bypass Kowloon Bay section of Route 6. It will be commissioned in the end of this year. We are also going to publish the long-term transport strategy blueprint, which will set out the overall layout of the transport network in the next 20 years. And at various points in the past, we consulted the panel on transport on this blueprint, and we are finalizing this blueprint. And let me share with you that this blueprint will adopt 3 main themes: enjoyable journeys, well-connected city, and healthy mobility. Strategies will be drawn up so as to take a people-oriented approach when it comes to transportation in Hong Kong, so that we can embrace a green future and efficient transport system. Now, members and the sector have expressed concerns about parking spaces, especially those for commercial vehicles. Through short, medium to long-term measures, we strive to increase the supply of parking, and we also take a multi-pronged approach. Through this holistic and multi-pronged approach, we seek to increase the supply of parking, and we will introduce these measures to members in the future. More importantly, we will kickstart a study on demand and supply for parking, and we will fully gauge the situation regarding commercial vehicle parking spaces, so that we have a scientific backing to help us draw up policies to meet the demand for commercial parking. Now, on promoting autonomous vehicles, we have had the support of the Legislative Council. Now, with your support, we provide, we draw up a regulatory framework, and we provide policy support for autonomous vehicles to be implemented in Hong Kong. The new regulatory framework was implemented in March 2024. Under this new framework, we will conduct cross-district trials of AV first. The Policy Address 2025 proposes the goal of adopting cross-district application of AV and connecting to other modes of transport, and will strive to achieve that as quickly as possible to promote the flow of vehicles as well as people in the territory. We will also encourage industry to leverage Hong Kong as a platform to explore overseas markets. And in fact, we have recently successfully invited a number of enterprises specializing in AV technologies to set up test centers in Hong Kong and to raise funds in Hong Kong. All these show that Hong Kong can become a strategic platform for the AV technology to go global. I'd also like to report the following to members. That is in relation to the southbound travel for Guangdong vehicles, which complements the northbound travel for Hong Kong vehicles scheme. Now, the northbound scheme is hugely popular among Hong Kong people. That is 1 out of every 4 local qualified vehicles has joined, totaling 140,000 Hong Kong private cars. The Guangdong Hong Kong governments will also closely monitor the situation. In terms of application renewal, travel booking, and vehicle inspection, we will continue to roll out enhancement arrangements. For example, on Tuesday and Wednesdays, apart from the designated dates, we have scrapped the requirement for advance booking. And starting from October, we've waived the requirement for these vehicles under the scheme to apply for closed road permits. The southbound travel for Guangdong vehicle scheme offers a new option for visitors to come to Hong Kong. They can choose to park their car at the Park and Fly car park of the artificial island of Hong Kong Zhuhai Macau Bridge, and then they can go on to the Hong Kong International Airport and visit different places around the world. We operate 220 destinations, or they can drive to the urban part of Hong Kong. In fact, the motion debate just took place in LegCo refer to enhancing the flow of goods and people through the scheme. And we've taken on board the views of members, and we will strive to further optimize the arrangement so as to facilitate the participants of the southbound scheme, and that we can provide them with a brand new experience. And we'll continue to implement crowd management and traffic diversion measures, and we'll also make good use of our infrastructure to ensure road safety and ensure quality traffic management. On the use of technology, we emphasize the use of AI as set out in the policy address. The Transport Department likewise has leveraged on AI to assist in online vehicle license renewal applications. Now, we have provided over 20 services online, and the Transport Department recently also rolled out other e-licensing measures, such as the electronic driving license as well as the electronic international circulation permit. Now, the department will continue to adopt AI so as to shorten the vetting process from 10 days to just 3 days. And will continue to make use of the transport data collected. And with AI and big data analytics, we can then predict traffic conditions and draw up measures to tackle traffic bottlenecks. And for the purpose of traffic management and transport planning, and for the purpose of responding to major events, inclement weather or emergencies, there will be enhanced efficiency through this real-time system. Another point I wish to make is that with the LegCo's support, we have introduced measures to improve the point-to-point personalized transport service. For taxis, we have introduced a number of enhancement measures, such as introduction of taxi fleet for better management. We've also introduced the taxi driver offense point system and the two-tier penalty system. We've also drawn up legislation to require taxis to install on a mandatory basis journey recording systems, in-vehicle recording system, dash camera, and a global navigation satellite system. But starting from April this year, we also require all taxi drivers to provide at least 2 electronic payment means for passengers to pay their fares. In order to provide passengers with more safe and legally compliant options when it comes to personalized point-to-point public transport services, we introduced the Road Traffic Amendment Ride-Hailing Service Bill 2025 into LegCo, which sets out the legislative framework and important principles. The bill was passed by LegCo in the middle of October last year, after careful scrutiny. Now, under this regulatory framework, the platform providing ride-hailing services, the vehicles and the drivers would all be required to be licensed. And we hope to introduce a new license permit system so that taxis and vehicles offering ride-hailing services can complement each other's strength. And then we can continue to improve the point-to-point personalized transport services to promote sustainable development of the trade. Our next step is to continue to engage various stakeholders in the discussion, and we will focus on technical details under the regulatory framework, as these details will be incorporated into the subsidiary legislation. We plan to submit the subsidiary legislation to LegCo in the first half of this year. Now, I briefly went through all the policy highlights of the Transport and Logistics Bureau. And then I will now give the floor to the Director of Highway and the Commissioner for Transport to introduce their work to you. Right, members, if you want to ask questions, please press a button. I will now invite Mr. Vic Yao, or Mr. Tony Yao, Director of Highways, to brief you on the work of the Highways Department. Yes, I'd like to brief you on the progress of various projects, and the first one is Central Kowloon Bypass Yau Ma Tei section. Now, we managed to complete the project earlier than expected. It now provides the rest of the works include erecting noise barriers along Gascoigne Road and also the landscape deck of Kai Tak. The latest figures show that the Central Kowloon Bypass is very popular. We recorded some 67 trips, and it is effective in diverting traffic, especially 20% drop of traffic flow along Lung Chang Road. We want to ride on this opportunity to conduct repaving works as well. There are also a number of other projects, such as the Chuen Wan Road, Kwai Chung Road improvement works. A new bridge will be constructed to connect Tsuen Wan Road and Kwai Chung Road to ease traffic congestion. We have achieved satisfactory progress. It's expected to be completed in the middle of 2026. As for phase 2 of Hiram Highway improvement, next month we should start the main works. So following the schedule, we should be able to complete by phases the Hiram Highways project starting from 2030. As for the improvement works at Chun Qing Interchange, we propose to build a left turn lane from Tsuen Wan Road to Qingyi extension of the vehicular bridge. Now, again, the progress is satisfactory. It is expected to be completed in 2027. The other project, widening of Yuen Long Highway and the section between Nam Tay and Tong and Shan Tsuen, and we will consult the panel in due course. With funding approval given by LegCo this year, we expect to commence works within this year. It's a 3-kilometer section of the Yuen Long Highway from Nam Tay to Tong and Shan Tsuen. We will widen the road from 3 to 4 lane. It will be a dual carriageway, and we will continue to take the infrastructure first and capacity-led approach. And that's different from the traditional mode. And for the traditional mode, we usually start with the advanced works first. But under this innovative approach, we will introduce holistic planning for procedures that may take longer time, such as gazetto, alignment options, and EIAs. They will be brought forward first. For Route 11, again, we are going to take this innovative approach. Northern Metropolis Highway. It spans 24 kilometers. It connects the various development areas within Northern Metropolis, and it is the longest highway in Hong Kong. From the Cross Bay Link to Tseung Kwan O Lam Tin T2 Road, all the way to Kowloon Central Bypass, Yau Ma Tei section, and then Western Harbour Crossing, Central Wan Chai Bypass. That's roughly the total length of the Northern Metropolis Highway. We are in the process of optimizing alignment and proceeding with design. This progress is satisfactory. We expect to complete the EIA in the third quarter, and following that, we'll start tendering in 2028. Route 11. The total length is 12 kilometers. It goes through So Kwun Wat, Tai Lam Chung, and Ching Long Tau. It also connects to the Lantau Qingyi link, and we have obtained authorization to proceed with the works, and we'll give priority to the Ching Long Bridge, which spans 1.3 kilometers. And that's roughly the length of Tsing Ma Bridge, and it will connect Qingyi to North Lantau, and it's a dual carriage, four-lane dual carriageway. And there is also a unique feature because of the navigation restrictions. There is a height difference. It will effectively divert traffic along Tuen Mun Road, Sham Ching section, and Tin Kau Bridge, as well as the Tai Lam Tunnel. And we have commissioned the MTRC to carry out 6 railway projects, including 3 railway stations and 3 lines. So for these 6 projects, the progress is quite good. For the 3 stations, the first one is Oyster Bay. It will be completed in 2030. Hong Shui Kiu Station, again, 2030 for completion. And then for Kwu Tung Station, it should be commissioned next year. We have 3 new railway lines as well. For Tung Chung Extension, it will be completed in 2029. Tuen Mun South Extension, expected completion date 2030. Northern Link, we take an innovative approach, and that is we will carry out work simultaneously for Northern Link Main Line and Spur Line, so as to compress the timetable and save costs, and through creating synergy. When the main line is commissioned, there won't be restrictions on the construction of the spur line. That's why we are able to bring the program forward, and that the spur line can be commissioned at the same time with the main line in 2030, and we have achieved a satisfactory progress. Hong Kong Shenzhen Western Rail Link Hung Shui Kiu to Qianhai. This is different from the other project. This is in fact the extension of an existing not an extension project. So that is why we're introducing a new tendering, open tender model. And last year we received 83 bids from the sector in the tendering exercise, and we feel encouraged. The participants include the contractors, operators, and we are preparing the tender documents. After this EOI exercise, as for other areas such as design and statutory procedures, we have achieved satisfactory progress. We will start tendering soon, and then by 2034 we will complete the construction for commissioning in 2035. For the Northern Link, we will take a new approach, adopting the Hong Kong Railway Standard so as to enhance construction efficiency. Smart and green mass transit system. Now this is a completely new system. For the East Kowloon system, it will span 7 kilometers with 9 stops. For the 2 terminals, one is in Kwun Tong, also the other is in Yau Tong, and we have garnered support from the community, and last year we received 0 objection when we published the project for consultation. Now we plan to invite tender this year, and then the tender will be awarded, and then works will commence for completion in 2033. South Island Line West extension. Last month, we announced that we've invited the MTRC to conduct a detailed study. Our goal is to carry out advanced works next year. We're at the detailed design stage. In due course, we will work with the MTRC and stakeholders in a consultation exercise to finalize the details of the proposal. We will also conduct the EIAs and other statutory procedures. Finally, I'd like to talk about people's livelihood. It counts, and barrier-free access should be made available. Now, for the Universal Accessibility Program, we have completed works for 382 walkways and escalators and lifts, and we have completed 415 escalator projects. And under the MIC construction method, we have compressed construction time by 30 to 20%, and there are 107 projects ongoing. We seek to complete some 48 lists.
謝主席。
Department of Transport, Director of Transport. Well, I'll be covering public transport, traffic management, and the work of the licensing department. On traffic management, the Transport Department has adopted different measures to cope, to satisfy people's different needs, and to improve people's commute experience. Since we have taken over Thailand, we have alleviated traffic pressure on Tseung Kwan O Tunnel. In May last year, we took over the tunnel and facing the differential toll arrangement to ensure smooth traffic, and also to relieve pressure on alternative routes such as Tuen Mun Road. And through AI, we have been able to detect traffic incidents more quickly, and also to make use of available road space to divert traffic. We are doing this as a trial project, and there will be more systems installed since 2026 and 26, or starting from 26, 27. We are going to implement this in Cross Harbour Tunnel and West Harbour Road Harbour Crossing, so that we have a smart surveillance system to detect incidents to improve traffic management. On enhancing the efficiency, we are also promoting the improvement in public transport services to meet people's commute needs. And through the annual bus route planning program, we would coordinate the implementation of new measures and infrastructure so that franchise bus services can be improved to meet passenger demand. And with the commissioning of a central Kowloon route, we have been adjusting bus routes to enhance efficiency. And will provide timely assistance to the operators so that they can enhance their reliability and efficiency. For example, we will help the ferry operators to improve their old fleets more efficiently to improve service reliability. And we also need to take care of the travelers' needs to enhance our status as a traveler's destination. So for different tourist attractions, we will continue to monitor the public transport arrangements for travelers so as to make sure that during festivals and during peak demand durations, the service level can meet the demand. As for the cross-boundary transport, we have introduced and streamlined the licensing and approval procedure by use of electronic licensing systems for cross-boundary transport, such as northbound Hong Kong vehicles. There is only the need to be qualified through a licensing application. And then there would be no need to have a quota allocated first. And we have just completed the mutual recognition study of cross-boundary goods vehicles. We are working out the details, and we will then work with the mainland authorities on how to go forward with the mutual recognition system. We would consult the trade as well as prepare for legislative amendments so as to see the smooth completion of the project. Road safety is also important for Transport Department. In the past 10 years, despite the increase from the total fleet size from 760,000 to 800,000, we have seen an decrease of 70% in traffic accidents. We've improved road crossings, improved the road pedestrian-friendly environment, and we have increased the lighting at the zebra crossings in Hong Kong, and therefore compliance rate has gone up. So there are new yellow lighting systems installed. We will improve our traffic management measures. We increase the publicity and public education. And to ensure and to improve compliance. We have tightened up the medical examination and physical fitness requirement of commercial vehicles drivers. Lastly, let me say something about our licensing work. We are responsible for 3 million applications for various licenses. We have introduced some e-licensing initiative to enhance vehicle licensing so that there is a QR code and that would do away with the need to have a physical license issue every year. And we are also providing a one-stop e-licensing portal for a one-stop platform. And there's an e-auction online auction platform for vehicle registration marks to facilitate vehicle owners, and there will also be electronic driving license issued. We will continue to improve our services to improve our efficiency. That's all I want to say in this briefing. Thank you.
Well, 13 members are waiting to ask questions. I'm going to draw a line after Mr. Mark Zhong has spoken. So for other members in this complex, if you want to ask questions, please come down and press the button as quickly as possible. Now, members will speak in this order: Mark Zhong, Christine Fong, Chen Xiu-hong, Kasaf Tam, Gary Chan, Michael Lee, Eric Yim, Lim Wai Kong, Chuan Pui Kong, Luthea Lam, Perry Yu, David Lam, Ben Chan. I will give each member 3 minutes, question and answer included. We start with Mr. Mark Zhong. Thank you. I appreciate the government's swift response in handling the issue of passenger seat belts on buses. There will be time for more discussion in the community. Nobody will doubt the original intention of protecting passengers by introducing this requirement. But as far as the reality is concerned, there are indeed some problems for short-haul passengers, for children, expectant mothers, and for students wearing backpacks to schools. Perhaps you should make reference to the 2-point seat belt on minibuses to solve the problem. And please come back and report to LegCo in due course about the Tai Lam tunnel tolls. The new tolls were introduced about 8 to 9 months ago. I want to know the latest traffic situation and how much traffic has been diverted, including the VC ratio during peak hours. As for the Highways Department, my question is about improvement works at the toll plaza of Tai Lam Tunnel. It's been almost 7 months, and according to Yuen Long residents, in the morning, the tailback would go as far as the plaque Pat Hung. So I want to know whether or when the improvement works will be completed. The next question relates to the redistribution of traffic across at harbour crossings. Now, during morning peak hours, the Hong Kong-bound traffic for Western Harbour Crossing would go all the way to Nam Chau. It's really a nuisance for residents living in NT Northwest. Now, I'd like the government to report to us the latest traffic redistribution so that we can have a discussion. Thank you, Mr. Zhang, for the questions. Now, about tunnel tolling as a traffic management measure, we have the support of the Legislative Council, and we had a very detailed discussion before in relation to rationalizing cross-harbour traffic and also Tai Lam Tunnel. We proposed new tolls in order to achieve the objective of efficient traffic management whilst achieving the principle of users pay and cost recovery. I will invite the Director of Highways to share with members the latest data available. On the whole, I'd say that it meets our expectation. In the coming months, I hope to have this opportunity to report to the transport panel the latest traffic condition. Ms. Christine Fong. Thank you, Chair. I thank the Secretary for her team for completing the Route 6 section or Tseung Kwan O section in the second quarter of 2026, and also phase 2 of Hiram Highway improvement works. It will be completed in phases in 4 years. Now, I'd like to have further insight from the director. Another point is about parking spaces for commercial vehicles at night. Will you consider including private cars in your latest initiative as well? About uphill transport, I'd like to make 2 points. Now, as population intake begins at the Anderson Road, there will be a greater demand for public transport service because of the increase in population. And according to residents, during morning and evening peak hours, there aren't sufficient public transport services. Will you consider requiring the operators to extend the service hours and have early morning departures? And apart from Anderson Road, there is also this uphill section of Po Lam Road North. The director just now referred to livelihood matters, and that counts, and there should be barrier access for all. Now, I'd like the department to consider this uphill escalator scheme for Po Lam Road North. And in fact, 16 years ago, the government announced various projects, many of which have been completed. Even for this housing estate in Ma On Shan, it was completed in August last year. I want to know for this, for the Lohas Park, Tseung Kwan O to the Metro Park project, or the Metro Park in Tseung Kwan O, do you have any timetable? Secretary, I thank member for the questions and the concerns. Just to briefly respond to the member's question, we attach importance to commercial vehicle parking, and we will continue to conduct this study on demand and supply. As for private cars, perhaps we will give it a thought. We do have regular reviews on allowing roadside parking at night, and perhaps I will give the floor to Mr. Yao to take the other question. Right, Ms. Fong just referred to the Hiram's Highway Improvement Project. The main works will begin next month. Now, it's a road widening project. There is no need to wait to close the road for full commissioning. Once that part of the works is completed, we can commission that section, and that is why, in fact, for the Tai Mong Chai section, the relevant works will be completed first, and then this part will be commissioned first. For Po Tung Road and Hiram Highway, the relevant sections will be completed later for commissioning. As for the uphill escalator and lift project, we need to have regard to the overall cost effectiveness and whether the community will benefit from it. Mr. Chan Sil Hong. Since the Secretary and the Director are here, Ms. Fong just referred to the Central Kowloon route, and I'd like to thank the government for their efforts. Now, the Central Kowloon route has commissioned earlier than expected, and the construction costs have come down, and then journey time has been substantially shortened. In the second quarter, there will be full commissioning of the CKR. I hope by then we can further enhance the traffic efficiency for the East-West corridor. Now, I'd like to turn to paragraph 11 of the paper. That is about the blueprint. Is it that you still need to iron out some details and that the blueprint will only be published later? Because it involves the long-term transport and traffic policies for the next 20 years. It will set out the layout for a transport network. And I am concerned about autonomous driving. The government provides policy support, regulatory backing, and financial subsidies. Through this multi-pronged approach, the government promotes the development of autonomous vehicles in Hong Kong. The government allows trials in Hong Kong as well. At the moment, the technology of AV in Hong Kong remains at the stage of expanding the trial area, collection of data. But I think that when it comes to the Northern Metropolis, we should make a special exception for autonomous vehicles to be used there. So I'd like the Secretary to respond to this suggestion. Will you consider taking a holistic approach and incorporating autonomous vehicles in the overall planning of Northern Metropolis? together with the IoT of AVs. Next, about cross-boundary infrastructure, the government should actively collaborate with Shenzhen so that a testing platform can be built on cross-boundary autonomous driving. There should be common protocols and a setup. There should be alignment of the format of data as well. Thank you for the questions. I'd like to take this opportunity to share with you the progress of the long-term transport strategy blueprint. This is a comprehensive blueprint that outlines the key layout and work for Hong Kong's traffic and transport over the next 20 years. There will be initiatives and action plans, and basically we have completed this blueprint. But take today as an example. I understand that there are policy briefings at different panels. We do hope that very soon we'll be able to publish this blueprint and explain the details to you, and there will also be publicity and promotion. Mr. Chan is also concerned about the vehicles, cloud computing, and the road network for AVs and what technologies will be used. There should be top-level design and planning, and we are actively making preparations. Apart from Northern Metropolis, as mentioned by Mr. Chan, we have also set aside space at the artificial island of Hong Kong-Macau Bridge, the airport connecting Tung Chung, as well as the airport city. We just rolled out some cross-district AV application. We will give a more detailed account as we publish the blueprint in due course. Mr. Kassav Tam. The government emphasizes the infrastructure-led approach. I am fully on board with this idea. This is crucial to expediting the development of the Northern Metropolis. The Development Bureau recently introduced a new mechanism comprising 3 tiers of monitoring, supervision, and high-level intervention so as to streamline the vetting procedures. There will be major infrastructure works in Northern Metropolis, such as the Northern Link as well as the Northern Metropolis Highway. Will you consider, in terms of transport infrastructure, introducing a similar mechanism so as to step up supervision and compress the time frame for vetting applications so that the public can benefit from the project as quickly as possible? Thank you, Mr. Tam, for the question. Let me share with members our approach to transport infrastructure projects such as railway and road projects. We need to enhance speed and efficiency of the projects, and we also need to optimize and streamline procedures so as to avoid the mistakes made in the past and those related to, say, repetitive or protracted procedures, that we will take a target-oriented approach, and we have asked the MTRC to set up a multi-tier monitoring mechanism, be it a high-level supervision or project management. There is this mechanism of monitoring in place. So when something goes wrong, we want to make sure that there will be, handling of these matters by somebody up the rank. And to answer Mr. Tam's question, we have adopted some innovative thinking and technologies as well. For other projects not undertaken by the MTRC, we plan to invite open tender, and we'll adopt we're preparing for new railway standards to be drawn up, and there'll be a dedicated unit set up as well. The projects may involve civil engineering works, building service installations, EM installations, and this dedicated office will comprise professionals which would help deal with these matters.
Mr. Chanhakan, I have 3 simple questions. First, congestion at Tolo Highway, which is a problem for many NTE's residents. Can the administration brief us what's been done for the alignment for the project and anticipated completion date for the widening project? And there's a new initiative to have a diagonally placed pedestrian crossing, which is quite well received. There are trial projects. For example, in my constituency, we have one at the Prince of Wales Hospital, at the Road Junction outside Jungle Nose Station, etc. This is popular and it's a convenience for many people. Can you extend the coverage? And also, there's another issue with cross-boundary infrastructure projects. But I'm all for those projects, but you need to carry out projects at the local level as well. For example, the vehicular bridge near Kwong Fuk in Tai Po. Well, the district council supports the project, but it has been held up by some considerations, particularly financial considerations. Can more be done, Secretary? Well, we want to make sure that pedestrians can cross the road more efficiently. You have mentioned a number of locations. They all share a common problem, and that is that the vehicular traffic is very busy. But since we're talking about road junctions, we have to ensure that while we facilitate road crossing by pedestrians, the traffic will not be unduly affected. So we have to make sure that it's efficient. I can assure the member that for these kind of road junctions and pedestrian crossings, very quickly, we will announce our decisions, which will be positive in outlook. As for the other 2 projects, I'll invite my colleague from the Highways Department to respond for the Sha Tin Bypass project. It's a project to improve traffic at Toro Highway. Under the blueprint, it will be completed after 2030. But we need to look at the overall development scene. Some advanced planning, site identification, and alignment study have been carried out. For Kwong Fuk vehicular bridge, we have identified some technical problems which can be overcome. And we also continue to review certain infrastructure projects critically. The introduction of taxi fleet system has been introduced for a few months now. But we have been told by the operators that it's difficult to recruit taxi drivers because many people who take the taxi license examinations tend to work as a web hailing taxi driver, hailing drivers. And it's been said that because of the strict traffic enforcement by the police, the cost of taxi fleets has gone out because of the lack of parking spaces. Can you review the situation with parking spaces for taxis? Well, Hong Kong has a system with railway as the backbone. Therefore, buses find the operating environment very tough. It's difficult to recruit drivers, especially when the drivers have a very difficult aging problem. The licensing fee for a light bus is 8,000 something, so it's 400 per seat on a light bus, which is very unfavorable for public light bus drivers. I hope you can make available the dedicated routes for other transport operators to improve the situation. First of all, on PLB, in public transport system, we have introduced a new labor importation scheme for public light bus, which is the result of making a balance, taking into account the severe manpower shortage. We've been monitoring the data. With the importation of some PLB drivers, the service level has been stabilized, and we don't see a significant impact in terms of accidents. We want to maintain the sustainability of PLB service, and we do recognize that PLB play an important role in public transport delivery. And we take into account of the recent southbound arrangement for mainland vehicles. We'll introduce new facilities such as EV charging facilities, and that would also make available a chance to make use to publish parking spaces availability. We have Health 5 taxi operator fleets to recruit drivers. We have worked with the Labor Department, and also we include taxi fleet operators in theme-based job fair to recruit drivers. In November last year, we streamlined the written test for taxi driver's license. We have reduced the number of questions on destinations, and also increase more questions on the latest traffic arrangements. We have seen an increase of 30% of people taking the taxi license test. We hope the increase in number of drivers will help the fleet operators as well. I welcome the introduction of commercial vehicle parking spaces studies for the operators. I hope more timely publication of the latest situation for the benefit of commercial vehicle operators. But you know that there are scammers making unscrupulous complaints against other motorists. I hope the administration can look into the insurance sector and the coverage over to the commercial vehicle operators. And after the 1st of April, taxi drivers have to provide at least 2 types of e-payment options to passengers. And I'm told that failing that, there's a fine of $5,000 and imprisonment of 6 months. Well, isn't it a bit harsh? Because it's just a failure to provide a sufficient number of e-payment options, and it may attract as an imprisonment term of as much as 6 months. And can you also open up more restricted areas for the taxi passengers to be picked up or to alight? because many wheelchair-bound passengers may need to access the different clinics and hospitals, which will be covered by the restricted areas arrangement. As for PLB, it seems that the adjustment of different fees has or different tolls have increased significantly from $10 to $50. And also the categorization has of different goods vehicle has resulted in toll increases. The insurance coverage arises for road accidents and also how the claims are handled have been the subject of some concerns and complaints from various parties. The Transport Department and the insurance industries will work hand in hand to provide to provide suitable coverage, insurance coverage, and to prevent abuse, so that passengers and drivers will not be affected by such abusive claims. And we have been working ways to improve point-to-point transport. For example, the introduction of taxi fleet at the boundary crossing facilities and different destinations. We have dedicated taxi stands for them. All in all, we seek to improve road safety, and there's always a need to strike the right balance. Mr. Zhang Puigong, for the East Kowloon green transport system, I hope you can expedite the tendering process. I know the Transport Department has been liaising very closely with local residents. According to the paper, paragraph 7, tendering would commence this year. I hope it can be done within the first half of this year, so that the system can be commissioned earlier. And also, can you commission the entire Central Kowloon bypass this year? I hope you can do this before the summer months. Yes, with the commissioning of Yau Ma Tei section, traffic has improved. Our thanks goes to the Secretary and the Transport Department. And Wai Yip Street outside Laguna City, we have seen a lot of vehicles, such as goods vehicles and heavy vehicles, which is very noisy. And if there's an accident, there will be a tailback and consequential congestion costs. The Transport Department's officers in Kwun Tong have been working very hard. They will be standing there to observe the situation, starting from as early as 8 a.m. But even if they are there to observe problems, there's very little they can do if there is a problem. Thank you for your comments and for your appreciation of the communication and for the different road projects which would be commissioned in phases. We will try to do it in phases and as quickly as possible. So, for example, we take into account the congestion of the road sections covered by the Central Kowloon bypass. For the Kowloon Bay section, the department is working very hard to complete the projects for early commission, and at the same time, we have to ensure safety. The relevant projects and project managers and contractors are aware of this need to commission the section as early as possible. As for East Kowloon green and smart and green public transport, well, they have put in a lot of thoughts to respond to the views expressed by the local residents to ensure smooth implementations. In the coming months, we would work out details in the various publications so that we can take care of their needs more effectively.
Yes, Mr. Luthier Lam, I have 3 questions. First, about the railway projects in Northern Metropolis. They include the Northern Link Main Line, the Spur Line, as well as the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link. Now, will the government consider connecting these railway lines to the Airport Express or to the Hong Kong International Airport? Because otherwise, those living in Northern Metropolis will use Shenzhen Airport instead. The second question is about parking. Now, I welcome the government's proposal to conduct a demand-supply study on parking. I hope that for parking spaces, the study will also include those for heavy goods vehicles as well as light goods vehicles. The third question is about the license fees for public light buses as well as private coaches. Now, there is a great difference. Will you consider aligning the fee structure? And also for the physical fitness certificate for drivers, you're going to lower the age threshold to 65, and that means annual checkups will be required. Some drivers may find it cumbersome to go through annual checkups, and they may instead retire. And this will exacerbate the problem of labor shortage, and there will be a greater demand for imported labor. Now, for taxis, we don't allow imported drivers, but will you consider for taxi fleets introduce imported cabbies so as to alleviate the shortage? Secretary, thank you. Chair, thank you, Mr. Lam, for the questions. About connectivity with the airport, we do attach importance. We plan different routes and we offer different technologies. For example, we have the railway line and we also have other public transport services which serve as feeder to different areas of Hong Kong. As for Northern Metropolis, we will carefully consider all options. As for the license fees for public light buses, we heard this view expressed by the aviation and transportation sector. We need to consider the full picture, and we also need to ensure that the government is able to recover costs in this regard. Mr. Lam also referred to physical fitness certification of commercial drivers. Now, there'll be another session in which we'll report to the panel on transport in greater detail about the latest arrangements. So perhaps I will save the point till then. Thank you. Mr. Perry-Yu. I fully support what Mr. Lam said. For the Tung Shue Kiu Tian Hai section of the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link, we need to make sure that it is extended to the Hong Kong International Airport, because for the intercity line in the mainland, by the end of this year, it will be connected to Tian Hai as well as the Hong Kong port. We need to speed things up. I know the government is sparing no effort in taking forward the development of the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link. As a matter of strategy, we should consider this suggestion. The next question is about Shuttlecock Port. According to the Security Bureau's reply, The study has been completed, and this port will serve as one for tourists. I hope that this will be commissioned as quickly as possible so as to alleviate the congestion at other BCPs. And what about transport? What is the overall plan? Will there be sufficient parking spaces for coaches, be it northbound or southbound travel schemes? On the eastern side of our territory, we need to set up a BCP so that there is a corridor for east in, east out for future development. Will there be room to set up this BCP on the eastern side? Thank you for the question. For Shuttlecock, the government is going to conduct a study. Our bureau, as well as the government departments, will take part in the study. This study will be completed in a comprehensive manner. That means we'll fully assess the capacity, the function of the BCP, as well as the supporting measures, the road network nearby. Mr. Yu has expressed concerns about the positioning and function of this BCP. We will conduct the study, and we will, in the study, consider different options and proposals. Mr. Yu also referred to connectivity with the Hong Kong International Airport. He also talked about railway connection in Shenzhen to their airport. So we will have regard to their arrangement in considering the overall appeal of our airport and the capacity. Dr. David Lam. Two questions. First is on the physical fitness certification for taxi drivers. Our plan is to lower the age threshold for commercial vehicle drivers to go through checkups in order to renew their licenses. Many drivers have expressed the difficulties in having frequent checkups, so we need to strike a balance between safety and feasibility. I hope the government will consider, for example, after submitting the renewal application, the driver in question can just go next door, and then there will be a test on his reflex, on his vision, and then the doctor can then sign the certificate to assess whether, for example, the chronic illnesses will affect the driving skills. Because when it comes to coordination and reflex, which are essential in controlling a vehicle, this may not exactly fall within the purview of a doctor. Perhaps an occupational therapist might be more suitable in conducting the assessment. The second point is about bicycles being converted into electric mobility devices. They add a motor to the bicycle, and for these cyclists delivering food, they may affect pedestrians as they ride on the pavements. So the government should consider mandating them to wear helmets. Secretary, thank you, Dr. Lam, for the two questions. For senior commercial drivers, we're going to tighten the requirement for physical fitness checks. There will be other measures as well, and we have arranged for another session with the panel in the future and for us to brief you on the latest progress. As for the professional advisory group in the healthcare sector, the Transport Department earlier introduced a pilot on a small scale. Random sampling was conducted to gauge the physical fitness of commercial vehicle drivers. So by then we will share with members our insight and the data. The second question is about the safety of cycling and the wearing of helmets. There will be a discussion on cycling and electric mobility devices, and we're going to conduct a briefing for panel members in due course. Mr. Eric Yim. About the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link to be constructed, this is a project that will enhance the connectivity with the Greater Bay Area. The Hong Kong section spans 7.3 kilometers. According to the document, according to the paper, it won't be commissioned until 2035, and that's 9 years later. And it spans only 7.3 kilometers. It's taking too long. Will the government consider adopting a special approach so as to collaborate with the mainland counterpart in order to enhance speed and efficiency, and that the completion date can be brought forward by 2 or 3 years? This is similar to the Northern Link project. Our country's standards are adopted so as to save costs and enhance efficiency. The next question relates to minibuses and coaches running on new energy. The government in recent years has promoted green transformation of public transport, and according to media reports, so far only 5 licenses have been issued for green electric minibuses. That this is because of a lack of charging facilities. The operational efficiency is so low that the sector is deterred from applying for a license. I want to know whether the number of electric minibuses have increased, and the other point is about methanol-fueled cell vehicles. In the mainland, it is expected that by 2035, over 2 million vehicles will run on methanol, and yet we haven't even begun in Hong Kong. The other point is about buses obtaining vehicle licenses. Now, we use the European standard, and the European standards do not include buses running on methanol. So will you consider changing the standards? Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Yim, for the question. For the Hung Shui Kiu Tianhai section of the Western Rail, we are collaborating with the Shenzhen authorities through the Task Force for Hong Kong-Shenzhen Cooperation on Cross-Boundary Railway Infrastructure. The project is undertaken through this mode of joint construction and operation. And we are taking forward investigation and design with the Shenzhen authorities under this approach. Our goal is, of course, enhance integration with the Greater Bay Area and promote the flow of people, capital, etc. in Northern Metropolis. We strive to enhance efficiency and speed as well. Our common goal is to commission the link in 2035, and we'll continue to discuss with the Shenzhen authorities. As for new energy buses and minibuses, the Transport Department collaborates with the Environment and Ecology Bureau for new energy transport. They will have regard to the standards in other places on new energy in drawing up our own standards. So about methanol, as mentioned by Mr. Eric Yim, we'd like to include them in our standards as well as buses running on other forms of new energy, which will happen very soon. Thank you. I see Mr. Mark Zhong would like to speak for the second round. Apart from him, does anyone want to speak for the second round? If so, please press the button.
Mr. Yu Ming. I am in favor of the route rationalization program organized by the Transport Department. And there have been amendments made to 25 routes, a lot of rationalization so that the passengers don't have to take a detour in many of the routes. And there should be more bus-to-bus transfer stations so that the point-to-point service will be done to a greater extent and the passengers will find it more convenient. Well, now there is a bus-to-bus transfer arrangement for southbound passengers, but not northbound passengers. Since we are going to have the Northern Metropolis project, you should consider this to improve the service. There will be Northern Metropolis Road and the commissioning of the Northern Link will be coming soon. We hope more improvement works can be done to turnabouts. Kailan, can you expedite the fund application and the implementation phases? Whether we are talking about Faneng North or Kutong North, the improvement to the roundabout would help a lot. I just wonder if there are plans to do all these. Thank you, Mr. Yu, for your comments. With the new e-toll system, we have implemented different transfer stations, such as the Tai Lam. We are going to make improvements to make it possible. You mentioned Faneng North Highway. We would look at the situation together with members to see whether we can do it through space identification and route rationalization. And there are the two roundabouts mentioned by the member. Yes, in the past, there were problems caused at certain hours because there will be a lot of construction vehicles and heavy vehicles resulting in congestion. So we'd like to make available a sort of bypass arrangement so that vehicles going to different destinations can be diverted effectively based on their destinations. We have worked out some thoughts, so we will be sharing those with members in due course. It's my time. Thank you, Secretary, for coming to brief members on the measures and projects that you are going to implement. I'm more concerned about autonomous vehicles, because that means a lot of innovation will be introduced. Apart from more trial projects, we need to make sure that other systems are there to support it, such as the communication system. So you need to make good preparations so that you don't have to take up the road service in the future for installation of such systems. You should make sure that the road infrastructure can cope with such future development in autonomous driving. Well, I've seen the different systems installed at different locations, but they look a bit unwieldy. And we have been promoting automated parking. Well, there are different systems and approaches. In promoting automated parking, we've talked to the companies working on this, they have been saying that they have to satisfy the different needs and requirements imposed by different departments. In order that we can have more parking spaces quickly, we should help these operators to meet the necessary requirements so that we can have the new car parks available faster rather than very slowly. We have a few completed, but we need more, and a number of these projects are still ongoing. With the new e-toll system in place, we have some space available in the former tolling plaza. So perhaps we can make use of the space to facilitate the meeting of different demands of motorists. And now for bridge projects. Can we introduce, for example, we see that in Huagang that a bridge would incorporate features for tourists. Can we do this for the new Qinglong Bridge? And I also support the introduction of new energy vehicles such as methanol. The government should consider ways and means to facilitate registration of such vehicles. Methanol is a more convenient fuel compared with hydrogen. So these are just comments. I would invite the Bureau to provide a brief response. Thank you, Chairman, for your comments. What you have mentioned are very good and forward-looking views. In charting our future transport strategy, we will certainly take those on board, and they will be reflected in our planning. Mr. Chong Ho Lok Fong added Thailand Plaza, that there will be the demolition of certain facilities at the polling plaza and introduction of new facilities. Do you have any timetable for the project? We only resumed the tunnel in May last year. We hope very quickly we would make available the space occupied by the tolling plaza so that there will be more interchange on transfer the facility for bus passengers. We will work out the details and inform members. Actually, you are doing this while the tunnel is available for other motorists, so the progress has been slow. Highways Department Director? Well, we need to demolish the superstructure of the tolling plaza. It's expected that works in this regard will be completed in the third quarter. Okay, you may have demolished the infrastructure, but what about making available the road space for motorists? Well, once the works is completed, it will be made available to motorists. That means that all the space will be available in the third quarter. Mr. Yu Park Leung, I want to say something about sea transport. In the past, in strategic study and strategy for transport, we don't give a lot of thought to sea or marine transport. Of course, in this briefing, you mainly mention ferries. There will be some support for the replacement of the old fleet, which the Bureau, together with the Development Bureau, to look at the landing facilities along the Victoria Harbour, so that a more convenient marine transport can be provided within the Victoria Harbour. For example, there's a new route serving the west of the Victoria Harbour. And in the east, we have a route serving Sai Wan Hall to the new pier in Lai Yue Mun. If there are more cross-harbour routes, that would mean that for tourists and for local residents, there's an additional mode of transport for their convenience, especially for tourists as well. And we can have a route going to the Prophet Cove Reservoir. Then it would be a convenient route for people going to the dam of the reservoir. So how can you facilitate these operators, these potential routes, so that they can be sustained? And in the future, we need more transport services, enhanced transport services, to support the development of tourism. Well, certainly these issues are not new. For the Transport and Logistics Bureau and the Transport Department, we will be interested in working with the trade on how to tap into the potential of enhanced marine transport services. We have recently provided some new routes from Central to West Kowloon Cultural District in the form of water taxi. And we hope the service can also be utilized by tourists, so that financially speaking, this is more sustainable for the operators, and also for more remote, ecologically valuable destinations such as East NT. We would like to invite more operators to express interest. This is something that we need to work in a concerted effort with the operators, both in terms of operation and in terms of promotion. As for Victoria Harbour, where there are locations suitable for landing steps to be implemented, well, near Pier number 9 at Central, we have a floating platoon to make it possible for marine taxi passengers to land safely. We'll look at the existing landing steps we have to ensure that they can accommodate future development of marine transport. I thank all the officials for their attendance, and also I thank all members for their attendance. Meeting's adjourned.